Welcome to the NJIT website and math podcast. My name is Amin. Today I will be covering complex numbers. First, we must define what I is, because I is essential to complex numbers. I equals radical -1, square root of -1. I squared, therefore, equals -1. Next, we define what a complex number is. So a complex number, z will equal x plus iy. For example, 2 plus 3i is a complex number. X and y are always real numbers. What makes it complex is the I. Now we move on to addition and subtraction of a complex number. It may seem difficult at first, but it's actually quite simple. So two complex numbers, z1 plus z2, is going to equal x1 plus x2 plus I y1 plus y2. For example, 2 plus 3i plus 1 plus I is going to equal 2 plus 1 plus I, 3 plus 1, which equals 3 plus 4i. So we add the real parts together and the imaginary parts together, just like in real numbers, just like with real numbers. For multiplication, it's a little more complicated. We use the FOIL method to derive our formula. So z1 times z2 is going to equal x1 plus I y1 times x2 plus I y2, which equals x1 times x2 minus y1 times y2 plus I x1 y2 plus x2 y1. Now if you ever forget this formula, you can always derive it using the FOIL method. Now for our last definition, we define complex conjugates. Unlike real numbers, complex numbers have conjugates. The complex conjugate of z is said to be z bar, which equals x minus iy. So for example, I bar equals negative I. Now for division, we need to use a little trick. We need to rationalize. So we multiply the top and bottom by the complex conjugate of z2, which is going to equal x1 plus I y1 all over x2 plus I y2 times x2 minus I y2 all over x2 minus I y2. Now this will give us x1 x2 plus y1 y2 plus I negative x1 y2 plus x2 y1 all over x2 squared plus y2 squared plus I negative x2 y2 plus x2 y2. Clearly this goes to 0, so that will give us x1 x2 plus y1 y2 plus I negative x1 y2 plus x2 y1 all over x2 squared plus y2 squared. Now notice over here it's negative instead of positive that it was over here, but that's because this part is negative. Same thing for this. This is positive because this part's negative. Thank you for visiting the NJIT website. If you need further assistance, stop by the Cape, Kufrin Hall, room 200. Good luck in your studies.